Everyone, and welcome to today's biodiversity vlog. Today we are going to be talking about Royal Chamomile, and it is this beautiful plant right here. Let's get into it. So, what is it? What is Royal Chamomile? And what is its taxonomy? Well, its taxon or specific scientific name is Artemisia granatensis. Its Spanish common name is Manzanilla de Sierra Nevada. English common name, as I mentioned, Royal Chamomile. So obviously, plant kingdom. We're in the Tracheophyta phylum, and we are in the Asteraceae family, a big family, especially known for, I think, the sunflowers, and specifically the genus Artemisia. So it has a very small population. We are talking 452 individuals. And let's also talk about the evolutionary history and population decline through time. Well, I couldn't find much about its evolutionary history other than, its taxonomy right here and the history that comes with that, with, the Asteraceae and plant timeline. But for the Artemisia genus, I found an article that said its evolutionary history is not well studied and not well known. And this plant, I could not find like any diagrams whatsoever of, the evolutionary tree, for instance. So it is a plant that really needs more research and more support. So its population decline, I already mentioned, that it's only a small population of 452 individuals, but the population decline specifically has been estimated to be over 50%, 50, between 1994 and 2003. So it is 2024 currently. So I'm sure that the population decline has been even greater than 50% since then. And this is kind of because the distribution of this plant is severely fragmented. There's a continuing decline in the number of subpopulations and in the number of mature individuals. So let's talk more about it. Its habitat range and its role in the ecosystem. So you can see it has a very, very small range. It is this little tiny portion of Spain down here. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor. And so zoomed in, you can see it is this section of the Sierra Nevada Mountains National Park. And it is endemic to these mountains, meaning it is only found there and it is from there. Specifically, it's found on the grasslands of these steep slopes, and it occurs in dry, rocky sites, in those ledges, crevices, and rock fissures. So it occupies those, arid, rough terrain that is usually hard to occupy, and thus the role it serves in the ecosystem. Even though it's a small perennial bush, it has a very well developed root system, which grows deeply into that rocky soil and can help prevent erosion, can help prevent landslides. It provides food to the herbivores that live there. And it also has medicinal properties medicinal properties to anyone, but it's special to indigenous communities around there. And there's a great photo of it on the rocks, and you can see some grasses as it's in the grasslands. So why is it endangered? We kind of already touched on that already, but specifically, a lack of popular awareness appears to be the main factor. And it's also been collected for its medicinal properties to make chamomile tea, as depicted here and as shown ground up before it's made into a tea in the corner, the left corner here. But it's also been predated on by herbivores. As you can see, these mountain goats of the Sierra Nevada mountains. This is an image of the Sierra Nevada mountains. And then also it's over collected by humans for its medicinal purposes. There's also the low number of species and subpopulations presents low genetic variability, and this has been due to what I said, but also because of a low capacity of adaptation to the adverse climatic conditions, which I thought was interesting. So, why care? Well, this image here talks about chamomile tea in general. This is not specifically royal chamomile tea, but it still has a number of those same benefits, like providing relief from digestive issues, controlling blood sugar levels, improving skin health, boosting immune system is a big one. I have specifically that someone found that they are aromatic and medicinal plants of ethnopharmacological interest due to the different biological activities, including anti-malarial, cytotoxic, antibacterial, antifungal, and antioxidant activity. So we need more of this production, and we need more study of this plant to learn more and to spread its amazing medicinal benefits to more people, but sustainably. And why care? Well, it also grows in those rocky slopes where, not much other species can occupy that type of region. With those lack of nutrients and that really rocky, arid, dry soil. So it is a very important species for those rocky slopes, to the herbivores, to the humans, and to overall land management and helping prevent erosion. So past and current conservation efforts and barriers. I have that it's listed on Annex 2 of the Habitat Directive, and it's listed under Appendix 1 of the Convention on the Conservation of European Wildlife and Natural Habitats. It's also included under the Spanish National Catalog of Threatened Species, and it's listed as critically endangered in the Spanish Red List in 2008. But on the bright side, it occurs within the protected area of the Sierra Nevada National Park, and there is a recovery program established there. They have been doing some in vitro cultivation, and there's been plant material stored in several germplasm banks. So yes, as you can see on this chart as well, there's in-place research and monitoring, there's species management, we have conservation sites in the and we're protecting the area, and we also have it included in international legislation, but I think we could do more with this in-place education other than just including it in international legislation, which we will get to in a second. But let's talk about some barriers to this. Well, a lot of times, we can only pick and choose certain things to conserve. And so they'll prioritize typically the charismatic species, the ones that are cute, the ones that are fluffy, the ones that are keystone, the ones that are kind of megafauna, like our elephants and tigers and pandas. So this little plant usually gets kind of brushed under the rug. But also I mentioned, there's insufficient funding for research, and there's just an insufficient research in general, but it's probably because of the insufficient funding and attention to this great species. And then also urbanization, agriculture, and infrastructure development often lead to more habitat fragmentation and worsen the climatic conditions, which makes it harder for the plants and the subpopulations to thrive. But all hope is not lost. There are ways that you individually can help without having to be a conservation scientist. Number one is to avoid harvesting from the protected Sierra Nevada National Park site where they're working to revive the population. Number two is to donate to the IUCN Red List or the national parks or anything like that. But I specifically mentioned the IUCN Red List because that's where I got all the information regarding this plant. And so I'm really thankful to that site specifically, and they do great research on all sorts of endangered threatened species. Number three, if you're visiting the park, watch where you're walking, stick to trails, do not step on any flowers or greenery if you can help it. Number four, write to or call the Convention on the Conservation of European Wildlife and Natural Habitats, as they have it listed on there, but they could probably do more and fund research on this wonderful medicinal plant. You can also write or call to the government of Spain to encourage further protections and support and research before this plant is extinct. And number five, you can simply just talk to people about this amazing plant and raise awareness through conversations, through social media posts, through campaigns, through videos like this one. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that is all I have for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this little endangered species vlog on the Royal Chamomile. And that is it. I hope you take some steps to help this amazing medicinal plant. Thank you. Bye.